Welcome, everyone, to the Wednesday Night Warriors, episode number 5. It is July 1st, 2020. It is halftime of the year 2020 versus the world, and we are back to talk AEW and NXT, not just any regular AEW and NXT. We've got Fyter Fest for AEW, and we've got the Great American Bash for NXT in what I like to call the Great American Fyter Fest Bash Night 1. I am Romeo Anthony Colon. This right here, you know him. He's on every single show on this channel. He is SP3. He is joining us.
Yes,
and of course,
it is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3.
My regular co-host, Christy, with his co-host,
Barry J.
Guys, before we get into tonight's amazing festivities, as always, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new. If you're a regular viewer, tell a friend. Let everyone know about the True Heel Heat channel. Let everyone know what we do here on every Wednesday. Discuss NXT and AEW. We watch 4 hours of television in just 2 hours. And then we come on here and try to dissect and figure out what we missed from watching 4 hours in 2 hours. Before we begin about tonight's festivities, we recap every week what happened last week with the ratings. Now, June 24th, AEW 633,000 viewers, and holy shit, NXT 786,000, NXT up 40K, the highest rating since February 19th, AEW down 139,000 viewers, their lowest rating in their entire Dynamite history. NXT wins by 153K. Guys, does anyone want to explain to me what happened? And I will, that is NXT's 6th victory in the ratings war total. AEW's up 31-6 with a tie. I have to take a shot for that. NXT won. Holy shit. Was it just the main event?
I would say it's a number of factors, but the number one factor of them all was, out of all the weeks, every single week of the Wednesday Night War, we brought upon you the Wednesday Night Warriors, and NXT's starchest advocate finally said that they weren't gonna win in the ratings war.
No, I didn't just say that. I said I was done picking them. Done. I won't pick them
you were
again.
finished. You were set in stone. I'm fucking done.
So I feel the True Heels are responsible for this, and they made sure that NXT won the ratings war to prove you wrong, because that was a can't miss pick.
Whoa. Let's not call it a camp. These ratings picks are hard as fuck.
But 150,000, I didn't think it was going to be that much. I thought it was going to be somewhere in the 20, 30, 40,000 range.
NXT waxed AEW, like, in every way. They won 7 out of 8 segments on last week, and the main draws for AEW over the last couple of months have either been Chris Jericho or Orange Cassidy, and they had both of them in the main event, and it was the lowest rated segment in the history of AEW. So
Unbelievable.
anything and everything that could have went wrong last week went wrong for AEW, and NXT just... And the match that everybody wanted to see last week was Keith Lee versus Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. So it was all about that on the show last week. That's why I kind of felt AEW was the better show, because I felt like it was more spread out and it had more things going on, whereas everything was centered around that main event. But because everything was centered around that main event, NXT won. And they won because the majority of the fans are over 50. They're stuck in their ways, and they just stuck on NXT because they did a good job of building up that main event.
On the Wednesday Night Warriors scoreboard here, once again, last week, me and Chris were split. He picked AEW was the better show. I picked NXT was the better show. And you guys, the viewers, the True Heels over on the True Heels group page, agreed with Chris once again. You guys will probably never agree with me. By a 14-8 vote, Dynamite was the better show. Now, in a perfect world, I would love for the voters of this poll to actually watch NXT to say that AEW was better. I counted at least 4 people that do not watch NXT whatsoever, but that's okay. That's okay. NXT is just gonna have to just keep winning in the ratings for the tide to change, for people to say, "What's up, man? Maybe I should be watching NXT." I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. AEW is up 3-1 on the Wednesday Night Warriors scoreboard. And now this is the 5th episode of Wednesday Night Warriors, and I have decided that every 5 episodes I will update you guys on our leaderboard, the match of the night, MVP, jabroni of the night, that kind of stuff. There's not much really here to talk about. It's only been 4 episodes so far, but I will go very quickly. Match of the night, Cody's in the lead with 2. MVP, 7 NXT guys have 1 MVP. Orange Cassidy is the only AEW guy to have 1. So big tie. And jabroni of Wednesday nights, far and away, this guy is on a record pace of, if you watch True Rewind, he's on a record pace of matching with Mongo McMichael, 1-2-3 Kid, Hulk Hogan. He's Usain Bolting right ahead of them. Robert Stone with 4 jabronis of the night in just 4 weeks that we've been doing this.
Yeah, that guy is strung the fuck out.
We have a living legend on our hands to stand up with those legendary names. Hall of Fame LVP names. No, they're all Hall of Fame LVPs.
When you put it like that.
From our first couple episodes of True Rewind. But Robert Stone, congratulations.
Let's get to what we really want to talk about tonight. Fyter Fest, Great American Bash. Guys, I will start off with the sets of Great American Bash and the Fyter Fest set. You saw the NXT logo was quickly patched over the WWE logo on the Great American Bash banner. The Great American Bash had some cars in the set to I guess it's from the Great American Race, I guess. What did you guys think of both sets?
AEW didn't switch it all that up much from last year's Fyter Fest set, and they had their other set prop, which was the Bikini Girls. Very
nice.
Yeah, for the males, I wish they would have been equality. They could have had some manly men out there.
When you say males, do you mean 18 to 34 by any chance?
The 18 to 34 demographic. That's what AEW is all about. It's the advertisers. Yeah.
I think you might get some 50-year-olds switching over.
I mean, if you keep having bikini girls, you're going to have fucking 70-year-olds switching over.
Chris Jericho is on commentary in a beautiful Canada jacket. I forgot it was Canada Day. But, if there's anything I hate more than a 3-man announce booth, it's a 4-man announce booth.
I never liked 4-man announce booths, but I am sorry. Chris Jericho just makes it work. Everything he says is gold. He just plays the over-the-top sports announcer from the 1980s. Like every over-the-top sports announcer, yes, and like it just screams. It's just hilarious to me.
Yeah, four people's a lot in a booth. I think 3 people's a lot, to be honest.
Yes.
They make it work somehow. But Jericho, I'm going to touch on something that Jericho said later in the night. You should have this man on commentary every night. Every night.
Fuck no. Fuck no. I am a Chris Jericho fan, a huge fan, ever since WCW days. But Chris Jericho now has what I like to call the three faces of Jericho. There is Jericho, the promo. And you saw that last week against Orange Cassidy. What a promo. And there's Jericho, the wrestler. You know, okay, it's not as good as the promo. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still nostalgic. It's still okay. And then there's Jericho, the announcer, which I can't stand. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. He's got the volume level all the way up to 13 when it should be at least 7 or 8. I can't stand Chris Jericho on commentary, and it blows my mind that everyone loves it. It blows my mind.
It's because he blows it up to 13. It's so over the top. It works. It works as a heelish announcer. We haven't had stuff like that since we were watching Jerry the King Lawler on Monday Night Raw.
At Jerry Lawler's best, he is not on Jericho's mic levels. He's not yelling and screaming like that.
No. He's not yelling and
sarcastic,
screaming like that.
Quiet,
but
like
he's
Brain.
overbearing. He's overbearing. No. Jerry is not like Brain. Brain knows how to drop in his one-liners and quips. Jerry becomes obnoxious and over the top and overbearing. So by bringing that in, it's fresh. It's new again. That's why I like it, because it's a very throwback to Jerry the King Lawler.
Maybe the Jericho thing might work if it's two people, like Jerry Lawler had it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably prefer it more when it was just him and Tony. But I just think it works regardless of when he's on. It's just anything he says, it's funny. And anything he adds to the match, it adds to the people that he's talking about.
Sorry to go on a slight rant there. I'm sure that won't be the only one tonight. As a matter of fact, here comes another one. MJF and Wardlow versus Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, of course. Not the 8-year-old. MJF gets on the mic to start the match, and can somebody tell me why he brings up the ratings war? Is it because AEW lost and they have to pay quick attention to it? I don't know. He tries to explain that's why he's up first, I think, right?
Yeah, he explained that was why he was
up
first.
Put him first.
I mean, NXT acknowledged the ratings war last week by announcing the Great American Bash. So, I mean, AEW is just known for, if the fans have already been talking about it, they are going to say it on air. That's what they have been doing since day number 1 of Dynamite. So,
I don't want to spend too much time on this, even though I really could, but I want to be very considerate of your guys' time. This match, I'm sure you guys are going to say great things about this match, maybe a match of the night thing. But I have to rant already, again, after I just ranted. This is a horrible job by the referee. This turns into a Texas tornado match. Control the action, referee, please. This is a big spot fest, in my opinion. Zero selling. Does anyone touch the tag rope in this match? I might have to watch again to see. FTR, if they were watching this backstage, they must. I think that's why they were drinking later on, because they watched this match and they saw nobody holding the tag team rope. I know this kind of match, this style of match is huge in openers. It's huge to AEW fans, really, but it's not for me. I'd rather see FTR in there. I'd rather see them have. That's why FTR is about to be my new favorite tag team, for real. They really are. At the end of the match, MJF hits Wardlow with the ring that he grabbed from his tights, very convenient location. Accidentally he hits Wardlow, and then he yells, "Can you do anything right?" Eventually, Luchasaurus pins Wardlow. Guys, your thoughts on this match? I'm sure it's much different from mine.
Yeah, it's very different because I actually enjoyed this match.
Oh, color me shocked.
No. Well, it started off hot and it slowed down a little bit when the heels started working. MJF and Wardlow started working, and Wardlow is pretty impressive. He's a big dude that could fucking move, and he's only gonna get better because he did basically his first taste of the big time. So, but anyway. It was a good match. I liked it. And I also liked the spot where they did the double kip up and then the double flip into the ring. It was it was different. I liked it.
I think it was a fun car crash type of opener that you would see on any like the beginning of any like Impact or TNA or ROH pay-per-view. That's why I really liked it because it was different from because they were gonna have 3 tag team matches on the night, and you would expect kind of Private Party and Proud and Powerful to be this style of match, but I like the fact that they took this away from them. So they were able to have a different type of tag team match where they just went balls to the wall. It was all spot fest. It wasn't a lot of selling, I will admit it, but it worked for what it was trying to accomplish. It put over all 4 guys. It put over the whole storyline between Wardlow and MJF, and it gave Jurassic Express a big victory because they've been taking a couple of L's.
After every match, I will update you on our picks. We picked this whole card. We picked both nights. Chris, so far, he wins this one. He's 1-0. Myself, SP3, we picked the wrong ones, 0-1. And I do have everyone that voted on the Instagram story, the True Heels followers on True Heel Heats on Instagram. You guys were also wrong with me and SP3. You guys, 71% of you picked MJF and Wardlow, so you guys are 0-1 too. After every match, I'll update you.
Yeah, fucking losers.
Over on NXT, Fatal 4-Way, #1 contendership for the NXT Women's Championship, elimination, which I completely forgot. So when I saw Mia Yim eliminate Candice first, I was like, what the fuck? That's it? Elimination. After that, Dakota Kai eliminates Mia Yim. Then it's Kai versus Tegan Nox. The way it should be. These guys have had a good rivalry. They needed some time to do what they did in this match. Actual selling in this match, very, very strange. Opening match and some selling. Tegan Nox, to my surprise, wins with the shiniest wizard. Maybe I missed something. I don't know why Raquel wasn't out there. Was she not allowed out there?
Yes, they said that there was no outside interference
Gotcha.
per General Manager William Regal.
Gotcha. Myself and SP3 and the True Heels all lost this one too. We're 0-2, and Chris lost this. He's 1-1. Everybody picked Dakota Kai for this.
Yes. Yeah, I picked Dakota Kai. And I thought,
telegraph.
Yeah. And I also thought she would be the next opponent for Io because, I mean, she's a face. You know, what other heel is really out there for her? It only makes sense that Dakota Kai would be next the way they've been building her up. It was a good match, though. The commercial break kind of threw me off because, you know.
NXT, by the way, the first to do a commercial break.
Yeah, always. But it's been like, I feel like it's been like that the last 3 or 4 weeks. So it's just, it takes me out of the first match, the opening match, which is a big match for, you know, this week. So, but when they got back to the Dakota versus Tegan Nox story, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of clunky at the start. I feel like every time it's like this combination of the girls, they kind of don't know they're like footing around each other when it's that many women in the ring, and they try to like break it down to like the 2 people in, 2 people out, which is very stale formula. So that's why I'm happy that it became an elimination match. They were able to tell a better story, even though Mia's elimination was very awkward and looked clunky as hell because Mia had to literally stand there like, huh? I did my finisher on her and she rolled out the ring? What am I to do? And then waited for Dakota to roll her up, like the timing was off there. Sorry, I didn't see you in there, Romeo.
Can you see me? Am I good?
No, your camera went out for a second while I was talking.
Sorry. You gotta open your eyes, pal.
Open your eyes.
Maybe my phone felt my frustration from hearing what you were saying.
Why are you so? Well, explain to me this. No, I like the match. I like the match, especially when it got down to Kai versus Nox. The match was great. There was selling like you wanted.
Thank you.
And
That's why they're
it
not
became
all in
a
the ring
really
at the same
good
time,
match.
Sid, because they're outside selling. I know it's crazy not
No,
to see all
they
4
weren't.
people in the
No,
same
they
ring at the
weren't.
same
That's
time.
just the WWE style. The WWE style is 2 people in, 2 people out. They
And that's
literally started the
fine.
match with Candice. Well, oh, let me walk out the ring. Oh, Dakota, let me go out. Because we're heels. Because we do
I
this
don't
in every
mind that.
fatal four
You
way.
have to sell. Can we move on?
Jesus.
This is just the first match of each card. Jesus. Over on AEW, it is Penelope Ford versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. In the beginning of this match, Kip Sabian is ejected. And I think the story of this match here is that Penelope Ford has looked better than I've ever seen her. Shida wins with the running knee. Guys, your thoughts on this Women's Championship match?
I have mixed feelings about it because it was a good showing by Penelope Ford, which she really needed to like look like an actual legit competitor in the division. But I don't know, man. The way I feel like they should be building up Shida like a killer, man. She beat Nyla Rose, who's supposedly the beast of the division. So to have Penelope Ford, I guess, look strong against Shida, I don't know. It's a little counterproductive to me.
I could see both sides to that. SP3?
I mean, I feel like it's a theme of AEW title matches, whether that be the TNT Championship, the tag team titles, the world title, or the women's title, where if you're going to take the loss, you're going to look great taking that loss. Like they did it with Brody Lee at Double or Nothing. They did it with Jungle Boy a few weeks ago during the TNT Championship match with Cody. And they did it here with Penelope Ford. She looked great. And this was a really good match. This was definitely like top three women's match in AEW that I've seen. Like there's the matches with Nyla Rhodes and either Riho or Shida. And then there's this one. This was really, really good. And it put a spotlight on the entire women's division because it made Penelope look like a formidable challenger, and Shida was able to overcome her, so she looked good in the end.
Everyone, of course, picked Shida for this match. Chris is 2-1, Romeo and SP3 1-2, and the True Heels, 75% of you picked Shida. I don't know what the other 25% was thinking.
Yeah. Whatever you guys are smoking, send some this way.
Probably from Philadelphia.
Oh no. I don't want no part of that shit.
Damian Priest promo, he basically challenges Cameron Grimes to fight him when he's healthy. SP3, I don't think you liked this promo, did you?
Oh my God.
Now, before you do that, this is a Puerto Rican.
He got the sleeve.
Go ahead. Oh, Puerto Rican, I gotta take a shot too.
Oh, so this is Damian Priest is I loved him as Punishment Martinez because he didn't speak that much probably. I don't know if that was the reason, but or is the WWE have reprogrammed him and made him a robot? Cameron Grimes. You think that you can do that to me? Punch my tires out? I literally I literally had to type to somebody. I was like, never want to hear this human being talk again in my life.
Chris, do you think our boy Damian Priest, the Pride of Puerto Rico, do you think he needs a mouthpiece?
I'm gonna ignore the fact that SP3 just called Damian Priest the Puerto Rican RoboCop. I'm just gonna ignore that.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to do a Photoshop to that.
He came off super awkward. I'm not gonna lie, man. As much as I love him, he came off super fucking awkward. But I mean, I got faith in him. Maybe he'll get better. I don't think he's used to cutting promos like this, At least he's trying, he tried to look intense. He reminded me a lot of Roman when he first started because, they tried a little too hard.
Guys, once upon a time, NXT used to be a developmental brand for stuff like this. Once upon a time. Still on NXT, it's Timothy Thatcher versus Oney Lorcan. This match was mat wrestling 101. No going to the outside. No top rope. They should have had this match in Stu Hart's dungeon. Thatcher wins with a Fujiwara armbar. After the match, he refuses to let go. Clean sweep across the board with everyone picking. 83% of our True Heel audience picked Timothy Thatcher.
I actually, I'm not a fan of like matches like this, and this shit was amazing.
Of course not. You like the opening match of AEW.
I do. I like those.
Oh wow! You just said this is amazing.
It was amazing. It was different. It's something that we don't see anymore, and it kind of reminded me back in the day when Benoit and these guys were pulling out 60-minute Iron Man matches, and the first 25-30-minute match first 25-35 minutes of the match would be straight mat wrestling and technical. So it felt good to see this. It's good to see it every once in a while, and I'm glad we got Timothy Thatcher to bring it.
The one match that I said before anything else I had to rewatch from this night was this match, because this match was just beautiful. It was wrestling for wrestlers, for wrestling fans. Like, it was hard hitting, it was mat wrestling. I loved it.
By the way, Oni Lorcan continues to deliver in these kind of little matches that are just blips and bleeps, and he doesn't get anything from it. He loses all of them, and I don't know what hope there is for him. Obviously, he's a tag team with Danny Burch. I don't know. Oni Lorcan deserves more than what he's getting.
He's one of the most underrated dudes in NXT, and still a part of one of my favorite matches on NXT TV history. Was Drew McIntyre's first match on NXT with Oni Lorcan. Probably one of the best sub 8-minute matches in NXT history.
And also Oni Lorcan, one of the greatest Twitter follows you could possibly have. I'm going to edit just one tweet into this and you're going to see it right away.
Yeah.
Boom. Look at this guy. This guy's fucking hilarious.
All caps. All caps.
He's yelling.
Karrion Kross and Scarlet vignettes. I thought this was brilliant. The voices, the black and white, TikTok, vermin are among us. Did you guys catch this?
Yeah, I like the Illuminati feel. And anytime Scarlett's on my screen, it's just 2 thumbs up. I wish I had more hands so I could give her more thumbs up. And Kross looks like a...
Don't say that too loud.
It's too late.
Godspeed. But yeah, I like this vignette. It was cool. Kross and Scarlett, anything they do is just gold.
I promise you we will get to AEW back there in a second. All this NXT stuff was boom right after each other, and I'm trying to go in order here. It was Rhea Ripley versus Robert Stone and Aaliyah in a handicap match. If Rhea loses, she must join the Robert Stone brand. Stone is in some boxing MMA shorts. He looks like a complete dork. He keeps fucking up. He gets in the way. He's missing moves. Eventually, Rhea gets a double submission on Robert and Aaliyah. This was sort of maybe the best I've seen Aaliyah, but that's not saying much. Definitely wasn't as good as Penelope Ford's performance. And I just want to say, what was the fucking point of this storyline if Rhea was going to win? I would much rather see Rhea Ripley in the Robert Stone brand. Give her something to do. Give her some character. Let her fuck around with that for at least, a month or something. Rhea Ripley, of course, has been fucking destroyed since WrestleMania, thanks to our queen, Charlotte Flair. What do you want to say about this?
I agree that Rhea Ripley's been destroyed because of WrestleMania. Like, this is just the sad state of this is what NXT. This is what NXT considers making Rhea look strong again. We're gonna heat Rhea up so she's ready for Io again. We promised you we're gonna get her back to where she was. No, she will never be back to where she was in NXT. I'm sorry. The ship has sailed. It's gone. It will never come back. That spark will never come back again in NXT. They need to accept that. Call bait. She's young. Put her on the main roster. Start her new. Because she can work there. But I'm sorry. She's just going to be lost in the wind. Lost in the wind.
Oh, sing it. Sing it. So nobody here agrees with me that you wouldn't have liked to have seen like a storyline with Robert Stone and Rhea Ripley together in the same brand.
That would have been interesting. I would have actually been interested in that. But at this, it would have made her more relevant, not more relevant. Like SP3 said, she would have been basic. She's basically going to be floating in the division. At least if she was with the Robert Stone brand, she'll have a little storyline to work with. Now she's just another woman's competitor trying to get her title back. You know.
I just thought it'd be a little fun to see a different side of Rhea, give her a little more character. Now she's just still Rhea Ripley, like, it's whatever, you know? That's just me.
I hope they continue it in some way because this was the least.
No, end this shit now. Stop it. No, that was it. That was the climax. Forget it.
Yeah, but this is the least entertaining outcome of all the outcomes there could have been for this match.
By the way, everyone picked Rhea Ripley. Chris is 4-1, SB3 is 3-2. The True Heels, 88% of you picked Rhea Ripley. You guys are 3-2. No, wait, everyone did not pick Rhea Ripley. I was a stupid idiot that picked Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get a storyline out of this. I'm 2-3.
I wanted to go with you, but then I remembered the WWE before NXT. WWE will always go with the least entertaining outcome, and NXT has become more and more like the WWE we know and love from Raw and SmackDown with every passing week. We still get the bangers like Thatcher and Lorgan and the good women's division, the best women's division in professional wrestling is on NXT, but the more and more weeks go by, the more and more it becomes more like Raw and SmackDown.
All right, finally we go back to AEW because it's Jake Hager versus Cody for the TNT Championship. Cody's shirt, awesome. But cease and desist at the same time. Cody's got the American Nightmare and the beautiful old school Great American Bash fonts. Very, very nice.
What a nice little FU, a subtle FU. You didn't need to bang a freaking throne with the sledgehammer. Good job, Cody.
He did one of these, the waving, when fuck you.
Did you guys see this dork, Justin Roberts? Our good friend, True Heel Josh Morera. I'm gonna thank him for this joke. He looked like Tim Duncan out there. Did they not have clothing his size in Jacksonville or what?
Nope.
This match ends with Dustin Rhodes interfering. Jake Hager gets a submission on Cody, but Cody has his shoulders pinned. That's a dirty finish to me. I did not have AEW having a dirty finish before NXT tonight, but that's what it was. Guys, I thought this was a good match, though, but maybe you guys will feel it was a little clunky in spots. I don't know. Who wants to start?
I maybe I just got to get used to it, but I'm like not really used to this whole style of Jake Hager. Because I think his style is totally different from when he was like in WWE, where like in his early WWE run, like he was a guy that can go. He was like doing the power moves, but he was also like a mat guy, a technician. This guy's an all-American, big motherfucker, you know what I mean? So like now that he has like the MMA presentation, it just, I don't know, too much brawling for me. But like as the match went on, it started to get better and better, and I got more invested into it.
I just feel like Cody, you need to understand, the fans love you at this point. You don't need all these smoke and mirrors to have a good match. Like,
I see what you did there. Was that pun intended?
Oh, only smoke and mirrors. Oh,
you intended.
Only smoke and mirrors tonight. We don't need all the smoke and mirrors for you to have a good match. We don't need you to bleed like a pig. We don't need your. We don't need.
He didn't bleed today. But
we don't need 60-year-old Arn Anderson out there taking bumps during a pandemic. We don't need your brother out there for a random run-in for no reason when Arn's already out there. Jericho, thank God Jericho's on commentary because he's the only one pointing out that Jake Hager had to overcome 3 guys. He had to overcome 3 guys. So they wanted to protect Jake Hager. I got that with the finish, but it just felt like a little bit too much.
Now, I don't want to start this conversation. Is this more heel shit from Cody?
Yes, that was the one part of this I did enjoy. I liked the heavy teases to Cody being a heel with Arn helping him cheat to overcome Jake Hager. I like that. And I already see it with the Dustin interfering. Cody's gotta turn by attacking his brother. He's gotta turn by attacking his brother, bloodying his brother with FTR and Wardlow. That's the whole reason Wardlow has to break off from MJF, because Wardlow's gonna be with this 4 Horsemen crew.
Oh shit!
You heard it here first.
Don't say 4 Horsemen. Don't say 4 Horsemen. You could say whatever you want. You could say the 4 Musketeers. Whatever. You cannot have Horsemen without a flair. Stop it.
The symbol of excellence.
Yes, which does not belong anywhere near Wardlow.
How do you replace a flare? Of course, with the Rhodes. The new 4 Horsemen.
Arrogance.
No way.
Of you. The nerve of you to say that. Oh. Chris, please break this up. Please break this up. Tell SB3 he's wrong, and you cannot do a 4 Horsemen. 4 Musketeers is fine.
They can be the fucking 4 Stallion guys. They can be the dollar value version of them.
That's too close. That's too close to a horse.
Oh, man, that is a horse.
Yeah, it's too close. It can't be. It should be some other animal.
They're gonna be horsepower.
Stop it.
Horsepower.
Over on NXT, Roderick Strong versus Dexter Lumis in a strap match. Strong's entrance was weird, but I thought kind of cool. SB3, you didn't like it, did you?
Yeah, it was like very, very weird, and it was
Definitely
jarring.
weird.
It was jarring for what the storyline was. Like, they took us on one direction with the storyline and making it kind of like a comedy bit with the therapy, and then they tried to like take us down another route of like it's like serious and it's making Roddy deranged with that vignette, and I was just like very thrown off by it.
But I thought the match was good for a strap match. Like, it wasn't like the strap match. Like, you know, it wasn't overhyped or anything. It was just like, it's 2 guys that are gonna beat each other up. I like how they use the surroundings around the ring more than like opposed to just beating each other up in the ring with the strap. Like, they used the apron and the ropes a lot. Like, it was just different. It had a different vibe. And Dexter's creepiness is A1. So I love it. He's on Hannibal Lecter levels.
Bobby Fish interferes. I was wondering where he was at. Loomis kicks out a running knee from Strong. He then whips Strong with the strap into Fish on the apron. He does that move that's sort of like a rock bottom, but he sits on his derriere instead. And then he does the, what Mauro Ranallo tells us is called silence, a submission. He wraps the strap around Roderick Strong. Your thoughts on this match, SB3? Wow, look at that face. Oh, man.
I actually enjoyed this match. I like that they used like the outside of the ring. I like that they went to the trunk and everything. I like the use of the strap. And I was like, you know, I don't know of that many good strap matches. And it was well on its way for me to having no complaints about this match. And then the finish happened. And this is the problem that I think our good our quarterback is having. You're not catching the little bits with the finishes. Like, the finish to this was just clunky and very
I'm watching
awkward.
2 shows at the same damn time!
I know. It's difficult.
I'm a warrior!
Thing. It's a difficult thing, but I know the problem. You don't have the experience from back in the day. I was only like 7, 8 years old. flipping my remote to catch every bit of Raw and Nitro. I have 25 years of experience doing this, so I catch the little bits like that. So what I caught at the end of this match was that, yes, they used the strap. Bobby Fish comes in the ring. They give, like, him a clothesline with the strap. And then Dexter, like, awkwardly moves the strap around. And Roddy basically has to act like the strap is around his arms, but it really isn't. And he awkwardly, like, does, like, walk backwards into Loomis so they can have a shot of Roddy looking behind him as Loomis is, like, right at his back. But it was so awkwardly set up that it just threw me so off the whole finish to that match. And yes, it did end with him then turning him around into that rock bottom, into the silencer where he, like, wrapped the strap around his, like, throat and stuff. That was the part that part was fine. It was the part leading up to that was just awkward as hell and clunky.
I surprisingly enjoyed this match more than I ever thought I was going to enjoy it. And I want to give a lot of credit to Roderick Strong for carrying Dexter Loomis to what I thought was a match beyond his capabilities. They made Loomis look strong in the end, pun intended, surviving the interference. I thought it was good for both of them. I want to say that. And by the way, us three, we all picked Dexter Loomis. The true heels, though, they were on Roderick Strong, 56%. They lose this one.
Dexter Loomis is, like, the most un-babyface person that is playing a babyface on mainstream professional wrestling television. Like, there's zero things about him that says babyface outside to Miss Chrissy Love.
He is the most lovable creep I've ever seen in my life.
Still more babyface than Hulk Hogan in his black hair in 1995.
Good point.
Watch True Rewind and suffer with us to hear more about that. Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party. All four of these guys ignoring the NYC quarantine of 2 weeks. Very bold. I'm sure they had a loophole. He traveled from Philly or New Jersey or something like that. Either way, very bold. Private Party win this one. I've seen this match much, much better at House of Glory Wrestling in Queens, New York. Guys, your thoughts on this match before we get into what happened after the match?
I thought it was a decent match. I knew coming in, I felt it was going to be like the weakest out of the 3 tag matches on AEW. So my expectations weren't too high. It's always good to see my Puerto Rican brothers out there.
I forgot.
That's all right. We got it. It's on the forearm somewhere. So, but yeah, it was it was good for what it was.
I like this match. It was worked different from the spot heavy opener and the more story based.
I didn't think it was that much different. I still didn't see a lot of holding the tag rope.
I mean, there wasn't
better
that
than
much
the first match.
But Proud and Powerful do hold the tag rope, so I will give them credit for that. Whether you saw it or not, they do a good job of holding. Not so much Private Party, I will admit that, but
not at all.
Proud and Powerful do a good job of following the tag rope.
There's a tag rope?
I love their submission where they have I think it's Ortiz has one of Private Party in the gory special while they had the other in a camel clutch, and then he grabbed the other one and had him in the Boston Crab at the same time. It happened in the in-picture break, but I was like supposed to be watching NXT at the time because it was on commercial, but my eyes was on AEW during the commercial break because I was like, yo, they're really doing this spot during the commercial. It was awesome. Probably my favorite part of that whole match, but I enjoyed it.
Yes, you did like that. However, you did not pick them like I boldly did. Romeo catches up in the standings at 5-3, the only one to successfully predict Private Party was going to win this. I knew Matt Hardy was in their ear. I knew Matt Hardy was going to make the difference. True Heels, by the way, 75% of you in the True Heels picked Santana and Ortiz, just like Chris and SB3.
I think it's selfishly because we're fans of Santana and Ortiz, and we hate the fact that they keep jobbing out. Like, I was like, he just lost. They just lost last week. I was like, they just had Santana lose to Matt last week. I was like, they gotta get the victory here, right? But now they're kind of giving Private Party the push right now, and Santana and Ortiz can always recover. So,
Did either of you catch the Keith Lee Adam Cole vignette building up the importance of next week's double title match?
Yeah.
really liked it. I really liked it. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like the Keith Lee part more than the Adam Cole part. I felt like the Adam Cole part was kind of weak, and it's like I just feel like we keep hearing the same Adam Cole promo for like the last couple of weeks. If he's not with Undisputed Era and able to bounce off of their personalities, or even the little small thing with I think it was the revolving promo that they had with like Balor and Gargano and Keith Lee. He was good in there, but when he's by himself and he's talking, I swear to God, he's just reading from the same script every single time.
Yeah, I agree with SP3 in that regard. Like, I love Adam Cole, but he does sound like the same thing over and over. And Keith Lee, like low key, always drops gems whenever he talks. Like little, like just the way he delivers certain lines. It's just like, damn, like yo, Lee, you different, you know. So
Lee XT.
Lee XT, has a nice ring to it.
Keith Lee is like a star, and he just keeps proving it and proving it. The rating last week, I don't just think it was because they pushed that main event. I think it had something to do with the people being drawn to Keith Lee. That's just my opinion.
This vignette was more based on Keith Lee more than Adam Cole. And I think that's what they were going for, to make you try to believe in Keith Lee. Because I think everybody already believes in Adam Cole. How many days is he already champion? And for anyone that hasn't seen on the network, the Broken Skull Sessions with Mark Henry, check it out. Good interview with Mark Henry. But Mark Henry also waxes poetically about how good Keith Lee is and Stone Cold also, how good he's still going to be. We learned that Brian Cage versus Moxley will not be taking place as scheduled next week. Instead, it is in 2 weeks at the, all of a sudden, very announced, Fight for the Fallen AEW. Obviously, this has to do with Jon Moxley's being around his wife, being a very good husband. His wife caught the Rona. By the way, Fight for the Fallen, out of nowhere, NXT is going to have to counter program that. I think NXT Tribute to the Troops, maybe?
Yo, like dead ass, I just feel like this was AEW's answer to being like, oh, you wanna do a 2-week Great American Bash? You know what? We got a 3rd week Fight for the Fallen. Dick on the table.
You gotta admire that level of pettiness. NXT struck back with pettiness. AEW says, fuck you, dick on the table. Take this pettiness. And Cody Rhodes also with the pettiness with the shirt. I love it. I love pettiness.
Tony Khan out here swinging.
I love pettiness that benefits us as wrestling fans. We get a 3rd week of a pay-per-view quality TV show, like with
From out of nowhere.
Moxley and Cage, and I clapped when you said that because it's keeping Moxley safe, because there was no way they were going to have this match tomorrow when they're supposed to tape, and it just shows that they're taking it a lot more seriously than the other company, honestly. You know, I don't like to do the comparison thing, but just the other company has just been so negligent. You have to compare the two. And Moxley has tested negative several times, which Taz mentioned in his promo. Taz is the best promo on Wednesday nights because he's spitting that fire and using reality and just being a dick by mentioning his total disregard. He's playing low key or Austin Aries on mainstream professional wrestling, and it's awesome.
Can you elaborate, because I missed the Taz promo because I was trying to listen to the Santos Escobar promo because I didn't know if you guys were going to listen to it. So can you tell me about the Taz promo?
Well, I was into the Santos first, and then Taz popped up on the screen with Brian Cage, and I was like, oh, this is going to be good because Taz has been going crazy lately.
See, the Wednesday Night Warriors, we have to do a little telekinesis. so that we don't miss everything. Sometimes
Exactly.
I have to bite the bullet and watch the NXT part because I already know Chris is definitely gonna watch the AEW part. So it's a telekinesis thing. This is how we work together. This is why we're fucking warriors, you know? Because we help each other out.
He brought up the negative test. He said that he got tested twice at home, and if he would have came and got his lazy ass into the arena, that he would have got tested again. So like, there's no excuses basically. Like, like he brought that heat. If he keeps going like this, man, he's promo of 2020 going this rate.
By the way, the Santos Escobar promo, since I watched it, I had to report on it. He basically says he's going to restore the honor of Lucha Libre. He is interrupted by Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick gets beaten down 3-on-1, of course. Santos Escobar with his two lackeys. I thought Drake Maverick still has no friends, but apparently Breezango come out, they save him, and it'll be Fandango challenges for a 6-man tag team next week on night 2 of the Great American Bash.
Apparently their stable is called Fantasma, if I seen that correct on the screen when they set it up.
It's called, hold on, I'll get it for you. Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, which is still cool because it pays homage to the Fantasma name. So, and it's nice to see the cartel out there.
Please no.
The worst cartel in the history of cartels. If this is this is supposed to be a cartel, because they haven't said it on television yet. You're just assuming a lot by calling them a cartel.
I mean, he feels very cartelish.
They've never called themselves a cartel. They did a cartel storyline leading up to it, which they totally had a huge logic hole for, because
y'all must have time if y'all about to do this. Yes. If y'all got time, then I'm about to do this. Y'all must have time. These guys got time.
Fast luchadors stole Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza. Then the 2 masked luchadors became Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. Where is the other 1 or 2 luchadors that was a kidnapper? I need to know.
You assume they were stolen. You never took into consideration that they staged this. They never told us. Staged this.
They never told us.
Well, you haven't taken into consideration. You don't even think it's a possibility.
What's the first 3 letters of assume? What's the first 3 letters of assume? No, I'm just going by them not telling me.
They don't have to tell you. What they don't owe anything.
I am asking questions as the viewer. Like, where is
you answers?
I have
That's not an answer.
I have
That's
one
an
answer.
Assumption. What's the
I have
first
one
3?
answer.
I just need one answer. What's the first 3 letters of assumption?
One answer. One answer.
No, that's not the answer. What's the first 3 letters of assumption? Because y'all are just assuming a lot here.
This is the WWE universe.
I'm asking a question.
Anything can happen.
Where's the other luchador? You guys still haven't answered that.
We talked about how you can stage a kidnapping. Kidnappings are staged all the time.
Well, what does that have to do with my question?
They are cartel-like.
You're not answering my question.
They are cartel-like characters.
That's not that.
They kidnapped somebody with lucha mask on. By God, if that's not a cartel, then I don't know what a cartel is.
Where's the other masked luchador? That's all I want to know.
It was staged. Or it could have been staged. Let me not say it's a fact. Be staged.
It being staged and it not being staged is not my question. My question is, where's the other masked luchador? You guys' math is off. It's okay. We can move on to the next.
2 guys that kidnapped him.
Huh?
The 2 guys that kidnapped him, right?
2 guys that kidnapped Raul Mendoza, and then 2 guys that kidnapped Joaquin Wild.
They could have easily have had you and Chris put on some masks, and then you guys kidnap me and, I don't know, Drunk Guy JJ, And then we're just staging it. We're all just having beers and playing cards in the back, and we're all just a big old happy family. We got Drake Maverick off of our tail. Drake Maverick doesn't know what's going on. Drake Maverick's confused. He doesn't know what's coming at him in the cruiserweight final. All of a sudden, and then he gets fucked up. It's easily. You were just looking for an explanation for the logical. It doesn't have to be the legit truth, but I'm telling you, that does kind of make a little sense. So that maybe it's yes.
If I'm gonna be the voice of reason here and come on this show and say y'all are not putting out this logical, I will be. We can move on to the next.
In a universe where a guy could come out of a grave and win the Intercontinental Championship, it's possible for a cartel to stage a kidnapping.
See, but Sid, you're assuming, there's that word again, that what I'm saying isn't true.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm calling what you're saying an assumption. I'm not assuming anything.
Just like what you said was an assumption.
No, I literally just asked the question. I'm not assuming anything.
The only question you asked was what assumption starts with. Which is
I also asked, where is the other masked luchador? You're talking about it being staged. You're talking about
part of the cartel. We're all a big, huge
cartel family. I think he's back doing jabroni shit. He's out there, selling weight like he was supposed to do.
That's at least an answer, not a good one, but an answer.
You got to think like the cartel.
Listen, all this conversation is just a bunch of assuming back and forth. We're all asses.
No, I asked the question.
Listen,
can I move on and talk about one of my favorite parts of the show, please?
We had to get that out the way.
It's Cameron Grimes. It's, as he likes to put it, Grime time. He says, I got my foot on the gas. I'm going straight to the top. And I'm calling out Adam Cole or Keith Lee. They're going to have to fight me. He automatically assumes himself the number one contender just from beating Damian Priest, who can't beat anybody on his own. Cameron Grimes is must-see TV every single Wednesday night. This is one of my favorite new characters. I love Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, I love him. He's growing on me.
There's like a baton or torch for the best character on Wednesday nights on either show. And Goat Baker has it right now. But Goat Baker took a week off, so Cameron Grimes is nipping at her heels because Cameron Grimes, just with that short promo, he just owns every segment and just exudes confidence and personality.
What I would give for just a simple conversation between Cameron Grimes and Goat Baker. Oh my God, that would be.
She'd definitely point out his fucking dental hygiene. That's one. That's guaranteed.
I will say you did miss the nice little, it was short, but the nice little Darby Allin vignette.
Yes, I did miss that. Tell me what happened.
It was a black and white. You can go ahead. Sure.
No, he was just like, he was doing skate tricks and shit in black and white, but he was doing like sick shit, like flips and he was just doing some wild shit, yo. I was like, you ain't catching me doing that. I can barely walk straight.
Yeah, the vignette starts out with him on the phone, I guess with like Tony Khan or AEW officials telling him that he's still not medically cleared and saying that he's not going to stay inside and not do shit. And then all the shit he's doing is like riding his skateboard, doing more dangerous shit than what he would be doing in the ring, honestly. He got set on fire as he's skating, and then they extinguished him off. Then he did like a moonsault off of like a handrail into the skateboard, landed on the skateboard, and then down the pipeline. That was how the video ended, but it was great.
That was great. That was a sick spot.
I stole this from Gary Cassidy of Sports Kita, but yes, Darby Allin should be a secret character on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yo, that would be sick.
Tony Hawk was in a promo in like an
Yeah,
AEW
Yeah, they did a
promo.
vignette.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right, you were
it's
high.
it might be a
That's why you don't remember. I will start with AEW's main event since I think it started first. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus Best Friends for the AEW Tag Team Championship. SB3, do you want to talk about this car entrance?
Oh my God. This is like top 3 car entrances in professional wrestling history.
By the
I
way,
am
quickly
sorry.
interrupt. Car entrances for both main events. Go ahead.
Yes, car entrances for both main events. And I think
Counter programming.
both of them placed in the top 10. Top 10 all time because Sasha owned hers, but I'm sorry. Best Friends just edged her out when they entered with Trent's mom driving them in a minivan. I never laughed so much during an entrance when Trent's mom's like, honey, tells him to come back, and Trent has a mean face on. And his mom gives him a kiss on the cheek. I literally could not stop laughing. By the time I stopped laughing, Kenny Omega was making his entrance.
By the way, we learned that Private Party will face the winner of this match next week. And it's for the Tag Team Championships. FTR eventually, by the way, my new favorite tag team, a real tag team in AEW. A tag team that holds the tag rope and pays attention to the referee's rules. They come out and watch this match. They're fucking drunk as fuck because they had to survive that fucking opening match. They are, I don't know, maybe 12 to 14 beers in, I would say. Best Friends hit the strong zero for a great near fall that Kenny Omega barely saves. Hangman hits a dead eye for another great near fall. And then he hits the buckshot lariat for the win. Before I talk about what happened after the match, your guys' thoughts on the match.
It was a good match. It was a nice back and forth. And Hangman was doing some I don't know, he gives me that feeling like he still might turn heel eventually. Just by the way he moves in the ring and just the way he be looking at Kenny in the back. Because before that,
stop it with these heel turns. Please.
They had the interview in the back, and Kenny said some shit, and the way he looked at Kenny is just like it's always a little tease. So,
okay, I missed that. Please tell me.
No, Kenny said something about like them having good chemistry. Like, hey, we beat we're fine. And then as it closed out, you just see Hangman kind of looking at Kenny in like a funny way. So it's just always a little hint of maybe they're not always on the same page like Kenny likes to think, and it gives the Best Friends a better chance of you think Best Friends are gonna win the titles.
Because Kenny said the night will end with a goodbye and a good night, basically saying like how he would close the show, and Hangman's like looking at him like, but I'm the one that always wins the match.
And Hangman
everything
also
makes sense.
Hangman also said, "I'm the tag team champion." He didn't say we're the tag team champions. He said, "I'm the tag team champion."
Kane and Daniel Bryan shit.
Yeah.
No, because Kenny's oblivious to it. Like Kenny just like, oh, it's just Hangman being Hangman, I guess.
Yeah.
So
He's drunk.
What you just said, Hangman is the one that wins this match, not Kenny.
Look at most of their wins. That's usually what happens. I really enjoyed this match. This was a great tag team matchup. They really did a good job of building up Best Friends prior to this matchup with all the big victories that they had beforehand, which made me believe on a lot of the near falls in the end, especially when I think they hit the strong zero at one point. Then I think Hangman did like a sunset flip and Trent reversed it and like packaged him up for a very, very close 2 count. It was like very good near falls. Same with the Sheeta and Penelope Ford, but I bit more on these because of my prediction, of course. But But I love the matchup. All four guys looked great in it. Trent especially. Trent just always seems to be like a star in these best friends tag team matchups. But this one, he just stood out even more to me.
Chris, myself, and the True Heels all predict this match correctly. The True Heels, they had Hangman and Omega at a 56% to win. SB3 was feeling lucky. He thought the best friends might win.
I just felt like with it was a number of different things. I thought they were gonna do something big for the ending of this show, and like the final falling out of Omega and Hangman's tag team.
Yeah.
I thought was the big thing that they would go for, and best friends are a good option to be the next tag team champion. So that's why I went with them.
After the match, FTR comes down. They got their, I guess, 16th beer. Kenny Omega pours it out very disrespectfully. If Stone Cold Steve Austin was there, he would have stunned someone for that level of disrespect.
He would have stunned everyone.
The Young Bucks come out. They eventually try to calm things down. Obviously, the Young Bucks and FTR are teaming up next week. This is seeming like a very big spotlight on these three particular tag teams. And do you guys think that's where we're heading? Like a match between these three teams? Or is this something else that you want to say?
I think we're gonna see Bucks versus the FTR just straight up first before we see a three-way, or that's how I would have booked it first. But I mean, either way, I'm fine with a three-way too, because these are all pretty good tag teams.
I think that the Bucks versus FTR in a lot of ways is like blood and guts. We're not getting that until there's fans back in the building. So they have to have a big tag team title match for All Out, and I think that's it. The three-way, they've done a good job of doing this slow build-up between FTR and the Young Bucks, and slowly circulating in Hangman and Omega into it and the tag team titles. So I just like how it's building up and building towards, and I like that huge spotlight that they put on them at the end, because it kind of foreshadows what's to come, and that matchup would be amazing.
NXT main event, Sasha Banks versus Io Shirai, non-title. Sasha Banks in beautiful Great American gear. I thought this match, Sasha Banks and Io Shirai, had beautiful chemistry. It seemed like whatever they were doing was just smooth and flawless. Maybe there was one or two bumps in the road, but they really had this match lined up. Whether they were calling it the ring or they had it lined up before then, they had good chemistry, in my opinion. The match ends. Io Shirai has I don't know if you want to say crossface or a bank statement on Sasha Banks. I guess you would call it a bank statement. I don't know. Bayley on the outside throws her title in the ring to distract the referee. The referee, very dumb as fuck, an IQ of maybe 12 or 13. He's fighting with the belt and Bayley. And then from out of nowhere, eventually, Asuka comes out of nowhere, sprays her green mist into Sasha Banks' face. Very bold. I hope Asuka had a COVID test or something like that. We haven't seen that green mist in a while because of all this fucking COVID shit. Eventually, Io hits the moonsault. Io wins. This is what I like to call a dirty finish. Eventually, Asuka and Io celebrate together to end NXT show. And on the predictions scoreboard, Chris is gonna win the night with this 8-2. Myself 7-3. SB3 6-4. And the True Heels 6-4 also. 89% of them also picked Io to win this match.
I thought it was a good match. It was good back and forth action. They do move they have good chemistry together. I did not expect Asuka to just pop up out of nowhere like the fucking boogeyman and just spray somebody in the face. I hope she got tested. I was thinking the same shit. I hope she got tested beforehand. I hope they were smart enough to do all that. And, you know, it just sets up Asuka versus Sasha. And it was what it was. It was a good main event.
I wish NXT would have done like the Teddy Long / Tony Khan of calling the announcers at the end of the show and announced that it was Io Shirai and Asuka versus Sasha and Bailey next week on night 2.
I mean, we're recording this right after. We might have to check the Twitter. Maybe it is announced. And in our predictions for next week, I automatically put that match in just in case. So we'll predict it later.
But I just felt like that would have been a nice little plug, and they did have a hot finish to the match. The match was great. Both ladies just worked well. These are two of the best ladies that I've ever walked through NXT as far as like in-ring talent. So this was a dream match.
Two of the best in the world right now, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Two of the best women, best wrestlers, regardless of gender, in the world, both of them, because both of them deliver in the ring every single night out. They're consistent. Their characters they have down point. Like you said, Sasha's gear was amazing. Sasha had the gear of Wednesday night on either show. MJF, your robe was beautiful, but no, you don't have the gear of Wednesday night. But both of these ladies just delivered and show why they're two of the best in the world.
Yeah, on a side note, I just want to say I now like white pants.
Okay.
I like white pants as well. I will say thumbs up for white pants. And Bailey is one of the best characters in professional wrestling. Regardless of any promotion, Bailey is just on point and hilarious. I loved her honking the horn to distract Io Shirai. It was kind of a throwback to Monday night when she did this and who falls for that? Who falls for that? I just love that Bailey, like I said this before, I think I said this on True Hill Heat. Bailey's whole character from the beginning was that she was an adult playing a little kid. And all that's happened is she became that, then she beat Sasha, and she became the kid that stood up for herself for the first time. Then she, grew as the NXT champion, and she was the kid that actually did something for herself. Got the bike and started being the paper boy and being the paper girl, getting the actual job, making their own money for themselves. Then this whole heel turn has been Bailey, the teenager. And all she is an obnoxious, annoying teenager, and she is just lovely as it. Lovely.
Wow, that is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard because it makes so much fucking sense. Good job, SB3. Good job. See, me and you can agree once upon a time, once in a while. But I do want to say, as great as Bailey's character has been, I don't think her in-ring work has been as good as it used to be. Do you want to argue about that now or no?
I agree with you. She's better in the ring as a babyface than a heel. She still hasn't got how to work as a heel down pat. Like Sasha blows her away as a heel. Sasha did tremendous heel work in this match alone. Just the aggressive and the snap, the smoothness of her movement, and just her cocky little laughs after every offensive move. Sasha just owns as a heel in the ring, but Bailey just seems to, she's kind of gone past what the boss was. Like the boss hasn't got that essence of that character ever since she lost the NXT title. It seems to be lost ever since then. Sasha has slowly gotten her footing back under her, but Bailey has her character down pat.
We are going to wrap up this Dynamite and NXT, and then after that we're going to do very quickly our week 2 predictions of Great American Bash and Fyter Fest. Guys, match of the night. Let me start with SB3.
I'm going to go with the main event. Cowboy shit. Hangman Page.
You don't have to say that. Another way likes a cowboy.
Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus the Best Friends. This was a hard choice for match of the night because I really liked Thatcher versus Lorgan. I really liked the opener for NXT. I really enjoyed the main event for NXT with Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. That was probably the closest to this match for me, but I give this match the edge. It was for the tag team titles, and I always had the feeling Io Shirai was going to win the main event of NXT. I was more of up in the air with the main event of AEW.
I had Timothy Thatcher versus Oni Lorcan because it was different, man. It was just something that I kind of expected it going into the match, but I didn't think it was going to be like that intense when it came to the mat wrestling, and it had me invested the whole match. So I really enjoyed it.
For me, this was very close between the both main events of both shows. I also would have said Loomis versus Strong. I thought was a strong contender for me. I'm gonna go with Best Friends versus Omega and Page. Only for one reason. Even though both matches were so good, I'm gonna go with that. That match had a clean finish. You know how I feel about dirty finishes. You know how I feel.
And NXT had 2 this week.
Yeah. Oh, I need to fucking start a dirty finish counter. See, the thing about starting a counter is that you have to go back for all the weeks you missed and fucking count those shit too.
We were gonna start a brawl counter, and surprisingly, this is the first week there was no full brawl. No full brawl.
Because they treated it like a pay-per-view. They never have brawls on the pay-per-view. They only have brawls on regular Dynamite.
And also, nobody was thrown in the trash or had trash thrown on them. Not that I remember.
There you go.
MVP. Let me start off. I had such a hard time choosing an MVP that I just chose 2. Roderick Strong for doing what he had to do tonight. Get Dexter Loomis over and make him look good. Amazing job by Roderick Strong. We got to give him credit. Come on. And then Io Shirai for the main event win, for the great match. Those are my 2 MVPs. Let me go to Chris. Who's your MVP?
Yeah, my MVP is actually gonna be Dexter Loomis because Roddy did make him look good, but at the end of it, he does look like the star, and I feel like they have big things planned for him, so he's my MVP of the night.
I'm going to go with the tie as well. My co-MVPs are the 2 women that were a part of the main event of NXT. Io Shirai and Sasha Banks. These women went out there and showed out. They had lofty expectations with being called the Dream Match by WWE standards. We all remember the last one they called the Dream Match with Nakamura and Styles. We also had the greatest wrestling match ever, which was great, but it wasn't the greatest wrestling match ever. But this lived up to the Dream Match moniker. Both ladies had great performances, so I got to give them both the MVP.
Let me start Jabroni of the Night with the creator of Joints and Jabronis. By the way, a new episode on the True Heel Heat channel. If you haven't seen it already, Chris G, who is the Jabroni of the night?
Usually, I would go with my man Robert Stone, aka Smacked Rider.
Robert Stoned.
Robert Stoned with a D at the end. But this week I had to go with Drake Maverick. My man came out with a neck brace, rushed the ring with 3 people in it. They got stomped out like Ebola on Grove Street. Unfortunate shit. That's jabroni shit.
Just because Chris G won't pick Robert Stone doesn't mean I won't pick Robert Stone. Robert Stone, this was your motherfucking opportunity to add Rhea Ripley to the Robert Stone brand, and you blew it. Oh, so many miscommunications, so many awful moves. Robert Stone, far and away the jabroni of all the Wednesday Night War. You won another one tonight.
Since you guys will never vote for him, I will, because I am the only one here That is not Puerto Rican. Yes, I am going for the Puerto Rican powerhouse, Damian Priest. Damian Priest, the NXT robot who was given that robotic promo to cut. He stood out the most to me as the biggest jabroni of Wednesday night.
Unbelievable. SB3, you will never be invited on this show ever again. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is not how we do Wednesday Night Warriors. Are you kidding me?
I'm just saying.
He just comes out of here and he's throwing Puerto Ricans under the bus.
Hey, Proud and Powerful had a good night.
Not really.
Matt Hardy? He counts.
Nice
He's
save.
Puerto Rican
Nice
by
save.
association.
No, that's a nice save. In my opinion, that's a nice save.
All right.
Matt Hardy is just as Puerto Rican as us, Chris. Stop it.
Yeah.
We just said it last week.
Yeah, he's family.
Show of the night. We have Fyter Fest. We have Great American Bash. I guess it's my turn to start. Wow. I swear I was going to pick AEW this week. I swear. I was like, NXT has 1 week of build for Great American Bash out of nowhere. Like, here's Great American Bash. Here's Great American Bash. Here it is. But holy shit! A rush card! And they deliver. I cannot believe it. Roderick Strong carries Dexter Loomis to a beautiful match. The opening fatal 4-way where they actually sell that they're getting hurt. Unbelievable. Io Shirai, Sasha Banks, 2 of the best women's wrestlers in the world. They act like they've been wrestling for years. I enjoyed all of NXT except for that bad booking decision of Rhea Ripley going over. Very awful decision. But the match wasn't that bad. It told a good story, so I can't be that upset. And as for AEW, the Spot Fest in the first match, 0 selling. Bruce Pritchard rolling in his grave. James Cornette rolling in his grave. You name them. Anybody from the past, they're rolling in their grave. Cody winning dirty. I hate if you're teasing a heel turn. I fucking hate that too. And as always, Chris Jericho on commentary, the worst face of Jericho. I hate. Santana Ortiz, Private Party, capable of much more better. NXT wins this week. I have only picked AEW once the first week because of how unbiased I am. As I was watching both shows, I had AEW Fyter Fest on the big screen, on the big TV, because I thought they were going to have the better show. I thought they were going to have the better card. I had NXT on the laptop. That goes to show you how unbiased I am. But wow, NXT, Great American Bash. They win this week for me. Who should I toss to next? Who wants to go first, SP3 or Chris?
So, surprisingly, I'm going to agree with Romeo. I actually enjoyed NXT more. They both good shows, but I just feel like NXT had so much more diversity. Just like the Thatcher match, the main event was good. The fatal 4-way in the beginning, I thought it was going to be a clusterfuck, and it turned out, being good. So it had me more entertained. So I'm gonna go with NXT this week.
Holy shit. The Wednesday Night Warriors agree once again in episode 5. This is the first time we've agreed since episode 1. And now on to our special guests.
Why do you sound so disappointed?
Because I know where you're going. But you know what? Can I say something before you even say what you're saying? Both shows were really good. I will give that 2 thumbs up, and I will take a shot for both shows being good.
Both shows were quality shows. I enjoyed both shows. AEW had the best match of the night. But hold on to your seat. NXT Great American Bash was better than Fyter Fest Night 1. I give NXT the crown. I give NXT the crown this week for this week because it just had like Chris said, it had more diversity on the card. The women's division had a spotlight. It wasn't much for the tag team division. I don't know if they have a tag team division, but but everything that they wanted to hit, they hit. They had a hit for. It wasn't a single, it wasn't always a home run, but it was at least they got on the base for every single segment. Whereas on AEW, I felt like the Cody and Hanger match wasn't as strong as it could have been. I there was just a couple of different things that was just a little off to me on AEW, but I just felt like Great American Bash was the much stronger show. It had a little bit more better matches on the card overall.
Sorry. Wow. 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 In the words of Bray Wyatt, Yowie, Wowie. Who do you think wins the ratings war? I am going to say that AEW blows NXT out of the water. I think AEW gets 900K. I think AEW fans are pissed off from last week. They're all tuning in this week. They're going to make sure Fyter Fest wins. I say 900K to NXT, 680K or something like that. SB3.
I'm gonna say NXT 700K to AEW like 815K. I think that AEW is going to get the edge this week because they did put a little bit more focused on this week.
Yeah, they advertised their show more than 1 week's time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they actually put star power on this show. It wasn't all thrown together. It's been built up for weeks.
I'm going with AEW slightly, probably only by like 20, 30,000 max. Low 700s, anywhere between 700 to 730,000.
We need to look forward to week 2, Fyter Fest Great American Bash. We'll start with Lance Archer versus Joey Janela. I am going to go Lance Archer. Bold pick, I know, bold pick.
Okay, unanimous.
Lance Archer unanimous. A 6-man tag. Breezango and Drake Maverick versus Santos Escobar, Wild and Mendoza, a.k.a. Legado del Fantasma. I'm going to go Legado del Fantasma. I mean, like, guys, you can't start off with a fucking loss. Like, really? Is that unanimous too?
Yeah, I'm going with the cartel.
So the worst cartel in American
history. Don't say cartel,
history.
man. You're just going to start it up again, man. Come on. Legado del Fantasma. For the tag team championship in AEW, Private Party versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. I will go Omega and Page to retain. They can't possibly fucking lose this match. Unanimous? Whoa,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, that
to the head, man.
I mean, you never know with AEW, but I'm gonna go with Hangman and Omega here because they're teasing that 3-way very heavily.
I'm gonna throw this match in there just because I really do believe it's gonna happen. Io Shirai and Asuka versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. Come on, I really want to see it so bad.
Yeah, I'm going with Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah.
SCU versus the Dark Order. I'm going Dark Order.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae in a street fight for NXT. I am going to go Candice LeRae.
I'm going to go Mia Yim.
I'm going to go Candice LeRae.
huge 8-man tag, which I am absolutely guaranteeing is going to be the match of the night for both shows. FTR and the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade. I am going FTR and the Young Bucks.
Same.
FT Bucks.
Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho, which do you think that's going to be the main event, or do you think it's going to be the 8-man tag?
I think Orange and Jericho should be the main event.
I agree too, and I'm going to go Orange Cassidy.
I'm going with Jericho.
Woo!
I'm going to agree with Chris G. I'm going to go with Jericho as well.
The big title for title match, Adam Cole versus Keith Lee. Chris, who wins? Title for title.
I'm going to go Keith Lee by disqualification. There's no way both titles are switching hands. I don't see it happening.
On for Keith Lee. Yeah, I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to go for Keith Lee. My brain is telling me Karrion Kross comes out and it's a no contest, but my heart tells me that Keith Lee is the star that NXT needs to get more victories in the ratings war. So I'm going with Keith Lee.
I cannot bet against Adam Cole in all those games. Adam Cole wins. Adam Cole's a double champion, and then he's going to have to fuck with Karrion Kross eventually. I'm going Adam Cole. So that's enough for this long edition of Wednesday Night Warriors, episode number 5. What a great episode. Thank you, SB3, for joining us and being a Wednesday Night Warrior yourself. Thank you for packing 4 hours of wrestling into 2. I really appreciate you. Any plugs?
Just Joints and Jabroni. Been out a couple days, and next episode coming out soon. Hopefully in the next few weeks. Catch me at Spick_Flair_ woo 3 O's. Can't wait to the next episode.
Where we will have SB3 again for week 2. Can't wait.
Can't wait for night 2. Definitely you guys can check out all the other shows that I appear on True Rewind. We're having a bunch of fun. We're having a bunch of fun on True Rewind as we're on the road to Halloween Havoc. You can check out True Hill Heat 80, which is up on the channel right now with Justin Clapper.
Must see.
Absolutely. Justin Clapper of Wrestling Travel as we talk about the Speaking Out movement, one of our more insightful episodes of True Hill Heat. So definitely check that out. Like the video, subscribe, push the bell to stay notified so you know when all this great content hits your screen.
And make sure you please like this video. Help us out. It helps the YouTube algorithm. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at, well, you guys are going to be shocked at this. I've changed my name on Instagram and Twitter. I am now the Pride of NY. I thought to myself, why should I just be the Pride of NYC? Fuck that. The Pride of the entire state. The Pride of NY. Follow me. And of course, True Rewind every Monday or Tuesday, depending on how busy the wrestling week is. And Wednesday Night Warriors, where we will see you next Wednesday with Chris G, SB3. We'll go over the ratings, and we will go over night 2 of the Great American Fyter Bash 2. Thank you for watching.